All right, so back in the olden days, a lot of times we used to send back uh, HTML, which you just saw, from the server back to the client. That was a very tedious process. So now we have a tendency more so to pass JSON back and forth between the server and the client and let the client populate the HTML objects dynamically from the JSON objects that we send back. Much cleaner process, and we'll start to see that as we progress. All right, so one of the beautiful things about Express is that it actually handles returning JSON pretty cleanly for us. All right, so let's take a look at that. All right, our normal stuff, Express. All right, using the URL module, create an instance, and set the listen to port 80. All right, so here we have a route that is listening for a get with the path/JSON. All right, so we of course taking the request and the response. All right, so we're setting uh, a property. Excuse me, we're setting a value JSON spaces to 4. All right, so spaces between our JSON. All right, so now we need to use res.json instead of send. This actually sends back JSON, so we use this instead of send. All right, and instead of passing the string in the body, we pass it a JSON object. All right, so what the JSON method is going to do is actually call JSON.stringify, convert this object to a JSON string, and pass that string back to the browser. All right, so instead of using send, we're using .json, and instead of passing a string, we're passing it a JSON object. All right. All right, here's responding to the error route. All right, and we're going to return JSON here. All right, here we're passing it just like we could pass the status code as the first argument in send. We're passing 500 as the status code, and we're passing a JSON object containing the status and the message that can be easily parsed on the client side. All right, so if we want to test that out, we would just pass in this link, and you'd actually see this JSON, a string representing this JSON string on the page. So try that out with these URLs and see what you get. All right, take care.